Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation, and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. Let go of negative thinking and stop living for the weekend. With your host, Fran Excel.
So welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel Mindset Coach, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm very grateful you've chosen to put me in your earbuds today. Please do hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything, and do leave me a review. I love reading them, and it really helps me get found by other people who need to hear what I share. I'd also love you to email me your mindset and productivity questions or topics you'd love me to cover to hello@franexcel.com, because I know a lot of you think I'm inside your heads because you tell me all the time. But if I don't know what you need, I can't give it to you. So let me know. Self-sabotage. We all do it. It will absolutely stop you having what you really want for your life. That's why I'm so flipping passionate about helping people overcome it, because it really doesn't have to be that way. You're here, so I know mediocre is not your thing. So let's go about making sure you can have, be, and do whatever you want, because it's there for the taking once you get past the pesky mind gremlins. So what is self-sabotage in the first place? Well, the definition of sabotage is to intentionally destroy something. So self-sabotage is when you intentionally, consciously or unconsciously, perform behaviours that directly get in the way of your desired outcome. Insert take actions or don't take actions that squash your dreams, relationships, opportunities, friendships, the whole kit and caboodle. When you don't understand it or can't see the patterns, there is no choice other than for self-sabotage to happen. In your business, in relationships, situations, with opportunities, etc., etc., etc. The vast majority of people really beat themselves up for it too. You know, they believe it's something inherently wrong with them, with their personality, with who they are at their core. The self-talk is incredibly negative and often hostile towards ourselves. You know, the hurt, frustration, and upset that we put ourselves through, wishing we were different, believing it's something inherently wrong with us, the assumptions, generalizations, and distortions that we make, the actions we do or don't take that stop us getting what we want or that get in the way and that take it away. But here's the thing with self-sabotage, and here's the reframe for you. It's not your fault. It is not an ingrained personality trait. You are not broken. You are not wrong. It's time to drop the shame associated with self-sabotage. So the real reframe is you're actually protecting yourself, and you're just really effective at it. It's not something you are consciously choosing, but you can consciously choose to do something about it. It's an automatic defense to something your mind and body perceive to be unsafe. It's protection. It's literally, to your brain, keeping you alive. Yeah. The behavior will have worked in inverted commas for you in the past, and then it's been repeated unconsciously over time. So when you want to consciously do something completely different, often opposite behavior, no wonder it's so blimmin' tough. This is why we need to make the unconscious conscious. It's the first step to all of it. So you can change the pattern and rewire it in a way that's actually going to allow you to get what you want. So you've got to observe your thoughts. Don't be your thoughts. Look at everything with curiosity. I wonder where that belief came from. Or, I wonder why I reacted that way. Or, I wonder why I did or didn't take that action. There's a reason for everything. It all comes from somewhere and is all something you learned along the way in your life. It's not who you are. So be aware of your triggers. Be aware of your patterns. Be aware of what you're feeling in your body when the self-sabotage occurs. All of this stuff is connected. You know, some of it can be really subtle. But when you know that every thought leads to an emotion, every emotion leads to an action or inaction that generates your results and reinforces your beliefs, you can see how easy this is to do. Just that one thought will sabotage everything. You've got to become aware of these things, especially when you want to achieve something big in your life, whatever that may be. When you want to do something brave or scary or outside of your comfort zone. If you want to have the successful business, the great relationship, the close friendships, if you don't work this stuff out, you'll have all the fun with procrastination, overwhelm, stress, the less obvious things, the less obvious patterns like eating junk or drinking alcohol to suppress particular emotions. Talking of alcohol, that was probably my favorite way to sabotage relationships in my 20s. My goodness, I could tell you some stories. And if you ever come to any of my VIP days or in-person stuff, I promise I'll tell you them. So many different ways to self-sabotage, but it all has the same inevitable result of you getting further away from what you want. Think missing a deadline for a piece of work. Think turning up late for something. Think not putting your full effort into something, or not taking an opportunity that's staring you in the face. Not letting an ideal client know that you could help them. Not doing something that makes you feel good. Those little habits. Doing something that makes you feel bad. Or not finishing a project and moving on to another, so you're left with about 25 unfinished great ideas and nothing to show for it. Or this is a big one, not using a service that you've paid for and wondering why you aren't further along. Or making a decision that you're going to take a step and get some help and then sabotaging you actually taking that final step. Pivoting your business all the time and not sticking with one thing for long enough for it to actually work. So many ways. But it is something that you can change. It's work. It can be hard to do on your own. Not impossible, but hard. You're working against yourself every step of the way. Your brain is going to send you all the thoughts, all the excuses, all the reasons why not, or why not now, all the negative self-talk that it can muster up to throw at you. But you need to, and you can, dissociate from it. See it for what it is and move forwards in spite of it. It's not about it not happening, because it will. You need ways to identify your ego, ways to regulate your emotions and your nervous system, ways to bring the unconscious into the conscious. It's awesome. It really is. I find it a lot of fun anyway. It's super interesting. But it's not for the faint-hearted. If you're cool with living with mediocre, there's absolutely no judgment here. But if you're not, I implore you to start digging deep, because everything you want is on the other side causing the behavior. If you can get through the things that cause this stuff, everything you want's there. So what causes it in the first place? Your existing beliefs, your self-esteem, experiences you've had, things that have been said to you in the past by people where you cared what they thought, early childhood trauma and pain, your primary caregivers' beliefs in themselves and attitudes towards you, teachers, friends, media, a whole lifetime of assumptions, deletions, distortions, and generalizations, and your brain and your nervous system's primary function needing to be safety. There's so much to the subject of self-sabotage. I mean, we're on about 140 episodes here so far, and every day I've got content coming out my ears. But it is so important to understand, because sometimes it can be so subtle, so easy to miss. But to reiterate, it is not your fault. I really, really want that to sink in for you today and for today's reframe. In the moment, you have no choice over the unconscious behavior. It's unconscious. But if you can spot yourself going into a pattern, you can cut it short. If you can make an unconscious behavior or thought conscious, then you do have a choice. It gives you your power back. Resistance, procrastinations, and all the other glorious iterations of self-sabotage is your brain and body's way of literally saving you from dying. Self-sabotage is ultimately a positive intent, but a negative outcome. It's unfortunate that that's the distinction it makes, because it doesn't just, your body and your mind, it doesn't distinguish between good, bad, right, or wrong. I'm always saying it just cares about safety, and new isn't safe. Yeah? It's untried, untested. Your version of safety is going to be different to the next person and the next person, based on your own traumas, experiences, ideals, beliefs, everything. Don't confuse trauma with having to be this huge, life-changing, horrific event. Of course, that is trauma, but so is being rejected by a friend when you're 7 years old. So is being screamed at by a parent and being told you're a burden. So is a physically painful experience. So is a teacher telling you you'll never amount to anything. Trauma is trauma at the end of the day. And if it's not dealt with, it will come up in the future. I'm living that right now. I mentioned it previously on another episode, that something recently I had no idea was an issue has been causing me big issues. I just wasn't aware of the root cause. So now I get to do something about it. And it's all coming from something that I thought I'd handled or dealt with at the time. Newsflash, I hadn't. It may be something in a completely different area of your life that is having an effect on your business. Everything is connected, all areas of your life. Your health affects your business. Your romantic relationships affect your business. Your friendships affect your business. Your relationship with your parents affect your business. And it's utterly and completely transformative to bring this to the surface. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it does mean that you peel off that extra layer of the onion and things get better and better and better. I promise I will reveal more about what I've been handling recently when the time is right. I know there are a lot of listeners who will relate to it. So I only want to talk about it once I feel fully equipped. No leaving you guys high and dry from me. But the bottom line is self-sabotage at some point is inevitable. It's not to be ignored or suppressed because it will come back again and again and again. But you can learn to overcome it, to break the patterns and create new ones. Because it's not your fault. It's not who you are. But it will affect how easy it is for you to do what's necessary to have what you want. It will affect how consistent you are, how visible you allow yourself to be, how you show up for clients, how you get clients, how you spend your day, how frustrated you are, how quickly you grow. Everything. So what's it going to be, my friend? So, if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and changing things for yourself, then book in a free discovery call so we can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. And if you want my eyes and ears on your problems, I work with people one-on-one and through my Proactive Pants Mastermind. So stop waiting for if and when and decide to change things now because you can. And as always, I hope that was helpful. So any questions, just let me know. And as always, I will see you next week. Bye.